I'm not saying it can do everything, but it kind of can. It can do whatever you want it to do. You just have to be a mad scientist to put it all together sometimes. Cool. And then that's going to be a B section. I already have markers set up so that this can be A, this can be B. Let me make a new marker channel up top, and this is going to be sections. Actually, let's go ahead and call this sections, and this will be chords. That way, it's all labeled well. So this chords, we're going to color code it to be orange. Oopsies. Make sure that's not selected. I have two lanes happening right now that are frozen. So like I have the panes up top. They're separated. See, like this? They're separated from this scroll. I love doing that. And by the way, I'm using Nuendo. That's the name of it. It's the pro version of Cubase. Pro meaning like it's actually made. Nuendo is made for game audio, by the way, if you are not aware of that. Most sound designers use Nuendo. So by extension, I like to use it because it has the game composer at the forefront of its mind. All right, and here I'm going to start putting some chords in. So in Cubase, you can do a little checkbox beside which marker channel you want to automatically input. So here I'm going to make chords. So this is E flat, major 7. And back here, this was, everything's G. Every single one of these is a G chord. And then, where was it? D minor. There, so D minor 7. And then back to G. I feel like this just needs to be an intro. So this will be the A section right here. And then this will be intro. That way the harp just kind of has its own thing. It's also a good loop point. And by that, see, I'm so used. I recently made a change in my template. You can see it right here. Watch. This is such a weird thing, but in composing culture, I was always taught, because of the ancient days of MIDI 1.0, I was always taught to leave one bar free to put all of your MIDI data. Your automations, your CCs, your key switching. And so for the longest time, like for, last 10 years, I have started my sessions on bar 2 as my starting point. And look what I just did naturally. I started on bar 2, not even thinking about it. But I recently made a change to my template. I didn't even know this, but in Cubase, you can actually force, I'll show you for anybody, for like the 3 people who care. Over here in my project settings, project setup right here, there's this little toggle box, display bar offset. And you can put the number 1 instead of 0, and it actually shifts the entire session over to the right by 1. And you can do it as much as you want and create negative bar numbers, which is super cool. But what I did is I created, hey, what's up, Matt? Glad you make it. Thanks for dealing with my flexibility. I didn't know I was streaming this morning till, I hit go. My family said, bye. And I said, okay, cool. I'm streaming. So anyway, my template now has a bar 0, which is really nice because now I can set my looper bar to be there. And then I actually start writing at bar 1, which is going to help with all of my live scores moving forward, because for the longest time, because of that whole bar 1, bar 2 thing, I've been getting very confused, because in Pro Tools, where I record live orchestras, the bar number would always start at 1, and then they would start playing on bar 2. And then I would import it back into Cubase or Nuendo, the original session, and everything was off by a bar. And then I'd import, a soloist's audio, like a solo violin or hurdy-gurdy, whatever, and then their whole thing was off by 1 bar, and it just creating sheet music like this with like awkward bar numbers, just crazy. So this little thing just saved me a lot of headache. And since I just went through a whole mix process with Dark Dice music, that's why this is very fresh in my mind, where nothing was lining up because some things were recorded at bar 1, some things were bar 2, some things were like bar 0. So now it's going to be uniform moving forward. But look at me being silly. I already screwed it up. So the secret to this is if you go up to your quantize bar, you can actually, I have a shortcut on my computer keyboard that I can move everything that's selected by whatever the quantize is, because it says use quantize right there, use quantize, and there is my quantize. 1 out of 1 means 1 bar. All I have to do is hit one button and then everything shifts to where I want it to go. Pretty cool. So now if I hit my keystroke, which starts the transport at the looping bar, there's my intro, and then likewise. This is why I can work so fast, because I have in Cubase, check this out, my key commands are crazy. Look at that. Like, and that's just one folder, but you could go to look and go to all, everything that has some, oh my gosh, look how many functions Cubase has. That's gotta be like 3,000. It's insane. And then you can make your own macros, which is like multiple commands back to back. And then you can make macros, which are like macros of macros. It's bananas. And then I have this insane stream deck, which is, you know, maybe you can see that. Here. You can kind of see it. Yeah, there you go. Cool. See this thing? All those buttons right there are my macros. I forgot what their actual name. I think that they're called the logical editor, but it just means that they're like, I've macroed my macros so that if I push one button, magical things happen because I took the time. It took me about a week to set it up. It's very much like Reaper, by the way. Yeah, Maple. You got it. But that's what I like it. It has all the clean interface, and it's well supported and highly used by most composers these days. But it also has the crazy customability of Reaper. So I'm not saying it can do everything, but it kind of can. It can do whatever you want it to do. You just have to be a mad scientist to put it all together sometimes. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like to learn more about how to support your family composing music for video games, TV, and film, well, then I suggest you check out my free audiobook. All you have to do is go to the link in the description below, and this is a $13 value, and you can actually grab that for free today. You can listen through Family First Composer, which is my #1 Amazon best-selling book, and I hope that that is a huge blessing to you and your family. Hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.